to my channel, and this is Jude. And if you attended this Sunday's Mass, which is the second Sunday of Lent, you might have observed or have heard the announcement at the beginning of Mass that the guidelines for the protocol of some of the rites that we celebrate during the Mass are going to be limited due to the outbreak of the coronavirus and just being in the midst of trying to contain and being proactive. So I really applaud the Catholic Church for taking this step before the wide spread, and God forbid we're going to really have a big epidemic in the United States. But it's really the key to trying to limit the close contact between people. And we all know that our masses are generally fully participated in by the congregation, which is wonderful because we come together to celebrate Mass together as a community. But in these times when it's important to realize that we need to use common sense, and anyone who is in a position to really understand the spread of something like the coronavirus, or just colds and flus in general, really realize that being proactive and taking a step rather than reactive, doing something after the fact. So the Church on the second Sunday of Lent established that there will be no holy water in the fonts, because obviously we're touching the water, and it's an easy way, if we've not washed our hands before we do that, the water will become contaminated. So we're not going to be having that for a limited time. And also the rite of peace, where we do extend our hand to those around us and offer the sign of peace, we will just be bowing our heads and saying peace be with you without that one-on-one contact. Also, we're not going to be having the chalice offered to us during the Mass. And when we are to be receiving communion, we are no longer going to receive it on the tongue, but we're going to receive it by our hands. And then, of course, use our hands in making the sign of a cross, and then open-handed and receiving it that way. Now, for Eucharistic ministers as well, they are to wash their hands before and after communion. So these are all wonderful ways that we can put in place a positive step to hopefully limiting the spread of the virus. Now, the main component of this is obviously if we are sick, if we are having any symptoms of coughing, sneezing, feverish, we shouldn't be at Mass, particularly if we have a fever. So those are times that we need to realize that we have to step back and think about our duty not to be spreading any germs, any viruses to those around us. Think about how many people that you would be affecting, because the virus is spread within a radius of 6 feet away. So normally in our churches we are sitting much closer to one another, and there could be elderly or babies, small children, which are compromised. So I really wanted to make this video because I know how many people continue to go to Mass when you don't feel well, just as people do work when they're sick as well. So I think we really have to abide by these guidelines that are sensible and know that God, He's loving you for the fact that you are thinking about your brothers and sisters, that you don't want to pass that on to anyone else. And there are other ways to be able to at least see the Mass and hear the Mass through different medias. And I will put some links down below of wonderful sites where you can watch the Mass or listen to the Mass. And I do pray that all of you will remain well and healthy, and we pray for anybody affected to have a speedy and a full recovery. So I just wanted to let you know that we can still be people of Christ and God and keep that faith and do the right thing for other people. So if you're sick, stay home and rest and get well. So until next time, friends, peace and love.